Shalom Israel, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahak, Wadash, upon us, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, salutations, and blessings to the elect, pushing the word across the four corners of the earth. And this is a long-time notorious liquor store on the south side of Chi-Town. I'm the brother Shaman out of Great Millstone, Chicago. But this is a notorious liquor store on the south side of Chi-Town. Look, they got what is it at? They got Northern Kingdom here too, celebrating Jesus, which there was a lot of crime there, so they just opted to just go ahead and just close, shut the store down, and it's a big church, one of them corporate churches, whatever I think it's New Life or whatever, but basically, as you can see, they took the sign down, they shut up shop, which is good because Jake used to go in there and get drunk and fight on the corner, and it used to be all kind of chaos and madness. But just because you convert that into a Christian establishment, right, that doesn't mean that you're now blessed. Basically they went from one wine to the other. And when you read in the scriptures, that's exactly what Jake does. They go from one thing to the other. See, now they're going to be in there teaching all kind of madness and destroying people's minds in a whole nother way. And it's like, shit, the scriptures say, wine drunk measurably maketh the heart glad. And we understand that wine is a literal wine, but then it's also doctrine. And I wanted to get a couple of scriptures because the scriptures, when you read through this book, you see Jacob, you see the wild olive tree, you see us into all our ways and all our shit, And that's why Israel also is likened her to a whore, because she has all these different husbands. A woman's husband, she's supposed to learn from her husband. That's why we tell women, learn from your husband at home. But you see all these broads who are out and about and gadding abroad and jumping from rod to rod, They don't want to be at home. All right? They don't want to be under their husband. This is Ezekiel 16, and this whole chapter is good. In fact, I'm going to start at verse 15. I'm going to just read down. But thou didst play in thine own beauty, and playedst the harlot because of thy renown, and pouredst out thy fornications on every one that passed by. His it was. And of thy garments thou didst take, and deckest thy high places with diverse colors, and playedst the harlot thereupon. The like things shall not come, neither shall it be so. Thou hast also taken thy fair jewels of my gold and of my silver, which I have given thee, and madest to thyself images of men, and did commit whoredom with them. So they made idols, right, which Jake still does to this day. And tookest thy broidered garments, and coveredst mine, and thou hast set mine oil and mine incense before them. My meat also, which I gave them, fine flour and oil and honey, wherewith I fed thee, thou hast even set it before them for a sweet savor. And thus it was, said the Most High. So those are the offerings. All right, and that's one thing Jake does when they worship these false gods and familiar spirits and shit. They put up drink offerings and all kind of offerings to the spirits and all kind of bullshit. Moreover, thou hast taken thy sons and thy daughters whom thou hast borne unto me, and these hast thou sacrificed unto them to be devoured. Is this of thy whoredoms a small matter? right? Modern day, people don't necessarily put their child in a statue of Baal, but you take your child to Esau. You put your child in Esau's system, knowing that they're gonna fuck your child up. They're gonna teach them some bullshit. All right, people are women actually literally getting these abortions, and then they give the fetus up to be used for scientific research. You know, that's basically your modern day Baal. It's just modernized, and then they do all kind of stuff with it. You don't know what they're doing with that stuff. Thou hast slain my children and delivered them to cause them to pass through the fire for them. In all thy abominations and thy whoredoms, thou hast not remembered the days of thy youth, when thou was naked and bare, and was polluted in thy blood. And it came to pass after all thy wickedness, woe, woe unto thee, saith the Most High, that thou hast also built unto thee an eminent place, and hast made thee a high place in every street. And this is an example of that. These high places, like all these churches. They had an ordinance in Chicago on the south side, no more churches on a certain block, on certain strips. Because it's just filled with churches. It's filled with violence, all kind of shit. It's filled with churches. Teaching the same bullshit. Church after church after church. You go in there, of course. Scriptures talk about it. Silly women. All right, now you drive past the church and shit. It used to be, more conservative and, big dresses, and you wouldn't even see no ankles, you know what I'm saying, from the church ladies. High socks, big hats, simulating a head covering. Then she gonna take the hat off, the crown when she get home, but at least they covered their head or whatever. And then now, I drove past, I was like, oh shit, it's like a nightclub in here. Right, thou hast built thy high place at every head of the way, and has made thy beauty to be abhorred, and has opened thy feet to every one that passed by, and multiplied thy whoredoms. And such is the case with so-called blacks, Native American, Latinos. You guys are just open to everything. And she opened her feet. That's a colloquial for she opened her legs. It says, thou hast also committed fornication with the Egyptians, thy neighbors, great of flesh, and has increased thy whoredoms to provoke me to anger. So not only do our people go off in every single way, but then they'll know that they're Israelites, and they'll continue to provoke the Heavenly Father. People actually have said that too. I'm going to continue doing what I want to do. I don't care about that. Or they'll say that. I know I'm an Israelite. And then continue with the bullshit. Behold, therefore I have stretched out my hand over thee, and have diminished thine ordinary food, and delivered thee unto the will of them that hate thee, the daughters of the Philistines, which are ashamed of thy lewd way. And in modern day, the Lord delivered us to Esau. This is why. All right, this is why. This is exactly why. Isaiah 29 and 9. Stay yourselves and wonder. Cry ye out and cry. They are drunken, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink. For the Lord hath poured out upon you. And see, this is a drink that, like the scriptures say, Babylon have they've basically made all the other nations drunk. Right? They say drinking the Kool-Aid because who was that? Jim Jones which I believe in that case, they said they forced people to drink the Kool-Aid. They had assault rifles or something. But in this case, you guys just drink the Kool-Aid. Just sip. You've been in America too long, like the apostles say. We've been here too long, man. Jake is just drunk off of dumb shit. Especially during this season, they flood you with sports and the commercials, the programming, your phone. There's so much to click on, and you have to just be accepting. You just have to accept everybody for how they are, and just come as you are. That's not what the scriptures say. Verse 10, for the Lord hath poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and hath closed your eyes. The prophets and your rulers, the seers hath he covered. And the vision of all is become unto you as the words of a book that is sealed, which men deliver to one that is learned, saying, I read this, I pray thee. And he saith, I cannot, for it is sealed. So the Lord sealed our understanding for a certain time. Right? This book is like it was sealed. We were reading it, sitting right there in church. It's 100 Bibles in there, and nobody can seem to break down who they are. And the book is delivered to him that is learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he saith, I am not learned. Therefore the Lord said, for as much as his people draw near me with their mouth and with their lips do honor me, but have removed their heart far from me, and their fear toward me is taught by the precept of men. Therefore, behold, I will proceed to do a marvelous work among this people, even a marvelous work and a wonder, for the wisdom of their wise men shall perish, and the understanding of their prudent men shall be hid. All right? And that's our people, man. Got all this songs and music and gospel and DVD box, DVD sets, TD Jakes, the Potter House, and all this other noise Jake be making, and dancing and praise dance, and they got praise mimes, and just all kind of shit. You go on YouTube, look up, worship, and Jake is gonna be the first one on there. Their little choir and their, little choreography that they your auntie put together and shit. But it says their heart is far from me. For the fear toward me is taught by the precept of men. And the fear of the Most High is the beginning of wisdom. Understanding his name, understanding his son's name, understanding his will, his purpose, how he created everything. All right, our people don't know that. And that's why they've erred, but the Lord has blessed the elect for us to have understanding, man, for the Holy Spirit to be dealing with us again, and for us to come out of that sleep. Let's say it's high time to wake out of a deep sleep. All right, but I'm going to leave it right there. Oh, no, I got to keep reading, man. I got to read a couple more. Verse 15. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark. And they say, who seeth us, and who knoweth us? Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. It's going to be destroyed. All right, it's going to be a weak-ass vessel. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he have no understanding? Is it not yet a very little while, and Lebanon shall be turned into a fruitful field, and the fruitful field shall be esteemed as a forest? And in that day shall the deaf hear the words of the book, and the eyes of the blind shall see out of obscurity and out of darkness. The meek also shall increase their joy in the Lord, and that's the time we're in. And the poor among men shall rejoice in the Holy One of Israel. Right? Lebanon is turned into a fruitful field. The Lord brought water into a desolate wilderness. Right? All different analogies for us receiving this truth and our spirits being restored again. because this is the real wine, not that fake shit, that grape flavoring, you know. So I just wanted to leave it right there. I thought that video was very interesting. You know, like, share, subscribe, comment. Shalom to the elect.